Imaginer Diana Krings asked, how do you manage to be a mom and also run a successful business? Please, all the tips that you have. For me, it is so hard. I feel I am on the edge of giving up.
Girl, I feel you. It is. I think, mom and dad can be interchangeable if they are the primary parent, if they are the parent that is most involved in raising the kids day to day. And I'm really, really lucky that I have a partner. I mean, it sucks that I say I'm lucky because this is how it should be. But I'm in a situation where my partner does take his parenting as seriously as I take it. And it wasn't always easy because he was raised in a home just like I was, where the roles were really separated, right? Like mom was responsible for this and dad was responsible for that. And now we both live in a house where both parents work and both parents raise the kids. And so undoing the programming of what you learned growing up is really difficult. So one, it's taken a lot of talking to make sure that like my husband is the partner he wants to be, because he wants to be that partner. He wants to be doing as much of the mental load as I do. He's just not naturally programmed for it. I hope that our sons will be, because they're going to see, daddy does as much as mommy does when it comes to the house. And so it takes a lot of discussion about, I mean, if you haven't heard of the mental load, please, for God's sake, look it up. It's the idea that like when I start cleaning the house, I just think everything is my responsibility. Whereas like there were definitely years where my husband would step over the same towel for like 3 days because he thought magic fairies picked up towels. And like, it wasn't magic fairies, it was me. The other thing is outsourcing things that you can't or don't want to do. If you're going to run a successful business, you can't be 100% of everything to everyone, because that will leave you nothing for yourself, which is no good for anybody. And so I outsource things in my business and in my life. So I don't do dishes. I pay somebody to do dishes on a daily basis. I don't do laundry. Laundry gets done by somebody else and then they put it away. And since we have 2 working parents, does that cost us money? It 100% does. Does it pay us dividends in a happy marriage? It 3,000% does. And so that helps. And 2 is like three. The big thing that's made a difference for me is I now pre-schedule my family time, which sounds crazy, but that's why I have July and August off. My me time, my kid time, my family time, my mom time, to ensure that I have it, is pre-scheduled, not just on a monthly basis, but also like literally weekly. So Tuesdays, my kids have dance. You can't have engagement sessions on Tuesdays. Thursdays, my kids have this thing. Thursdays, I'm not available. So making sure that like I prioritize in the calendar my availability, because otherwise you see a blank day and you're like, oh, it's open, but it's not. So you got to put all your family stuff in the calendar that you want to prioritize. And obviously, like, I'm speaking from a general place of privilege right now because I'm 16 years into my business, and business just comes in and I can be selective and I can say I'm only working on a Wednesday. And it's hard to get there, but I got there while my kids were tiny little breastfeeding monsters who, while I was editing, I'd be feeding a child. So there's definitely a rough spot, but you'll get there too. You gotta plan for it.